This is so great. Hope you guys can tell what fun I'm having here today. This is amazing. Thank you so much. So here we are in section 4. We're really starting to roll. Okay, so we're looking at the level of the Christ mind that sees the Christ and the Antichrist as the same thing, or two aspects of the same thing. Again, there's a great teaching that says all things are lessons God would have me learn. Or really, in the end, there's just one lesson. So everything that I experience is part of the lesson that the divine, as part of my arising into my function, as part of this extension or expression, everything is serving that function. Everything in the end must serve that function, because that's the only reason for my existence. There's no other reason that my existence could have. I could make up lots of other reasons, but there is, in truth, only one reason for my existence. Just like an acorn has one reason. It has one purpose. And that, for any seed, has one purpose. And that is to become the plants that it is designed to become. That's its function. Now, what happens with that plant? Many different things could happen with that plant. We don't need to get into all that nitty-gritty. But the important thing is to understand that everything has built into it a function, which is simply to be the full expression of what it is. Okay, so what is it to be human? What is it to be the full expression of a human being? Now, some people would say, again, the old tribal mind would say, well, the function is just to grow up and to go to school and to get married and raise children and have a career and get old, and if you live long enough, have some grandchildren and retire from your career and relax and die. That's the old view. That's the tribal view that our grandparents and maybe even parents believed in. That was it. That was the meaning of our life. Well, we've seen a very rapid acceleration in this process of evolution where most people today, at least in America, most educated people don't see that as their highest function. Just simply be born, grow up, get educated, have a career, get married, have kids, have a bunch of things, retire, whatever. That's not their highest function. Their highest function is to be, to borrow an army term, be all you can be. What does that mean, to be all you can be? In the language I would use, it means to be the full extension or expression of our divine nature, which is love, in the context of our humanity, which is, again, our beingness, our personality, our form, the life experiences we've had. But our function is to be the expression of creativity and love and joy and peace, any of these divine qualities, to be the expression of this. As Eckhart Tolle says, he calls God the unmanifested. And then our role is to manifest. The unmanifested wants to manifest into our world. Well, in my world, the only way that the unmanifested can manifest is through me. It's the only way it can happen. There's no other portal into my world. Now, I could look out and I could see evidence, go, oh, well, there's God manifesting through Mother Teresa or through, but that's not really my world. Okay, I could make Mother Teresa or Peace Pilgrim or Gandhi or Eckhart Tolle. I can make them part of my world. But the epicenter of my world is me. This is pretty basic logic. I create the world that I see, and I will populate the world that I see with the people that I want to populate it with. I'll be choosing that. My choice of these individuals, my choice of these experiences, my choice of all the events of my life really is part of this expression of the divine self that I am. I'm looking for the context into which to bring my divinity, my creativity, my love, my passion, my compassion. Okay, so this is a really beautiful dance that each of us are doing. We're each given this opportunity in this thing called a lifetime. It actually boils down to every day, every moment. We're given this opportunity to bring the full expression of who we are into this moment. If we do that, as I'm doing this right now, I'm bringing the full measure of my divinity with all of the gifts that I've accumulated over my life. It kind of boils down to this. What I love doing more than anything is talking or writing about spirituality with other people. I love doing that. There's nothing I love more than this. So that's why it's like I'm so excited, so grateful that I have this opportunity now on YouTube to potentially talk to millions of people, maybe 10 or 100 or 1,000 hear me. It doesn't even matter. The idea that's so exciting for me is there's no limit to where this can go. The whole idea is that I just simply want to express or expand this part of my beingness into my world. Well, our technology now has gotten it to a point where that's why I get so excited about the acceleration. I mean, it used to be if I wanted to get an idea across to the country to California or, let alone someplace like Asia or Europe, I would have to send it by Pony Express. I have to go by boat or something to get there. It would take weeks sometimes, go back a couple hundred years. An idea that you wanted to express would take weeks to get to someone else. And it would get there in a form that they'd need to go through a lot of deciphering to even understand, particularly if they spoke a different language. Well, suddenly here in our world with this acceleration of technology, we have the ability to instantly connect with people all across the globe. And we have the ability to put things now on video. And even if someone couldn't understand English, they could actually probably understand a lot of what I'm saying, only by seeing my excitement, seeing my passion, and just with a little bit of interpretation, they could understand what's happening. And probably if I just sat quietly and meditated and just allowed this flow of energy to move through me without words, everybody would get it. Okay, words become part of the form, oftentimes an obstacle, because many words that I might use, like Anti-Christ, that word alone carries baggage, right? Everybody's got their own way of interpreting that and all that. But this, again, this isn't a bad thing. This is what we're given the opportunity to undo. All of the ways which we've used symbols, like words, like money, like other things, symbols of something deeper. Okay, money is a symbol of prosperity. Well, is money really prosperity? No. Prosperity is something deeper than money. Money is just something in form. And we believe, oftentimes in the illusion, particularly in our Western culture, we believe that the form becomes the thing. Well, the thing is not the essence. The essence of prosperity or abundance is really a spiritual quality. It's the idea that, like right now, I have unlimited access to spiritual beauty, to spiritual truth, to this energy of love, that it's just there, ready to flow through me in a form that works for me, articulating words, sharing with others from my life experience of many decades of being on this planet and more consciously on a spiritual path, that it suddenly becomes this opportunity for the divine to manifest in a very specific and personal and powerful way. That becomes my joy. That becomes the deepest level of inner peace I could know, is this expression. And with this, I've lost track of time. I know I've got to always keep these things well under 10 minutes long. So I'm going to stop, and we'll continue in just a little bit. Thank you.